good sportsmanship. By supporting your team, respecting the abilities of the opposition, and the decisions of the officials, you can create an environment that is reflective of the community. Be a class act, be a good sport, be a winner in the game of sportsmanship. Please welcome tonight's game officials, Gary Ewald, Rob Ratsford, and Nate Sarr. Now the starting lineup for the Oelwein Huskies. A senior, number 1, Madeline McShane. A senior, number 2, Peyton Arndt. A sophomore, number 11, Alexis Merriman. A sophomore, number 12, Maria Real. A senior, number 14, Malaya Keel. The Huskies are coached by Jason Jesup, assisted by Elizabeth Ezer. And now, for our J-Hawks, a junior, number 5, Lady Pilcher. A senior, number 10, Alexis Larson. A senior, number 11, Amanda Correcto. A senior, number 23, J.C. Lang. A sophomore, number 32, Adriana Bolden. The Jayhawks are coached by Jordan Conrad, assisted by Jason Pilcher, Tyler Sickles, and Bruce Wall. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as we honor our nation and flag while paying respect to our men and women in uniform around the world who protect our liberties and way of life with the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome to the Jayhawk Sports Network and a fun-filled evening of Jayhawk basketball. We're going to start things out here with the girls as we take on the Oelwein Huskies. This is Luke Baldwin along with technology operator Anthony Baugh, camera operator Eric Clark, and soon to be joined by my partner in crime, Nate Clayberg, who's finishing watching up his son's game in the other gym. But we're going to get things going as we have Lainey Baugh and Milena Keel at center court ready to tip things off here. Oelwein with the tip. Quickly get into their offensive set. Oelwein coming into this match 2-14 on the season, 0-8 in the North Iowa Cedar East League. They currently sit at the bottom of our pod, which is Jesup, Wapsie Valley, Sumner, Fred Union, and Oelwein in that order, top to bottom. And speaking of Milena Keel, she starts off the scoring for the evening with a quick three-pointer. And Jesup, of course, 5-0 in the North Cedar East, 14-3 on the season, ranked, I believe, 8th in the state. This is the second time these two teams have met this season. The first time, Jesup taking care of business and getting the W in Oelwein. So the Huskies looking for a bit of revenge tonight here in Jesup. If you missed the starting lineup, I'm going to go through those real quick. Sometimes they're hard to hear over the microphone. For Oelwein, we've got a 5'6" senior forward in Madeline McShane, a 5'6" senior forward/guard in Peyton Arndt, a 5'4" sophomore guard in Alexa Berryman, a 5'5" sophomore guard in Maria Reel, and to round things out for the Huskies, we've got a 5'9" senior guard in Milena Keel. For your Jesup J-Hawks, we've got 5'7" junior forward Lainey Pilcher, 5'6" senior guard Alexis Larson, 5'6" senior guard Amanda Treptow, as we see the Jayhawks with the full court press against the Huskies. We've got a senior guard in J.C. Lang, and to round things out for the girls, we've got a sophomore guard, Adriana Bolden, getting her third start of the season and playing very well in this new role. Oelwein's Alexis Berryman hits the two-point shot. Quickly back the other way, the Jayhawks with J.C. Lang drilling a three-pointer, putting them back on top 7-5. Again, Jayhawks in that full court man-to-man press. That's going to be a foul on Lainey Pilcher. Pretty solid defense there, but she did move a little bit, which is almost always going to result in a foul. Milena Keel is going to head back to the free throw line to shoot a pair. She'll make the first. And I do have a Nate Clayberg sighting. He's making his way up to the upper patio here in Jesup. So there will be two of us on the voice machine here shortly, which is two is always better than one when it comes to this. Keel making both of her free throws. Back the other way for the Jayhawks. Pilcher looks at the three, dribbles around, kicks over to Peyton Bowes. Shot long on that. Peyton Bowes coming off just a phenomenal game as she misses the bunny there, but coming off a phenomenal game last night against the Wapsie Valley Warriors. Just a great game to watch all the way around, but Peyton Bowes finishing with 18 or 20. I can't remember which one it was, but just a freshman for the Jayhawks and really coming along quickly here throughout the year. Pilcher drives, splits the defense. No good on the shot, but she will go to the line to shoot a pair. Second team foul for the Oelwein Huskies. Just the first foul against Libby Gerhardt. Natalie Crandall. Natalie snuck into the game. Snuck into the game when I wasn't looking, apparently. Speaking of sneaking into the game, J.C. Lang to the bench in favor of Sailor Youngblood. Oelwein casually brings the ball up the court with that loose pressure from the Jayhawks. Nate Clayberg in the house, getting himself prepared. He's setting his computer up, adjusting his headset, putting on his glasses.
You guys could have waited for me.
Well, I talked to him, and nobody seemed to think that you were important enough to pause the game.
I bet there was a lot of who? Anyway, came out of a freshman game, entertaining as always.
Yes. So we did some introductions. Everybody knows who you are, Nate. They know who's on the court, so I think we're good to go here.
Well, I'm going to let you keep going till I
actually
legitimately am ready.
Lainey Pilcher playing some solid defense as Alexa Berryman tries to make her way up the court. Now inside for the Huskies, turned over, stolen by Peyton Bowes. And Lainey Pilcher quickly back the other way. She attempts to drive it all the way, gets it taken away. Keel to the basket. They're going to call a charge against Keel. So just Keel's first foul, but I know she was really hoping for a foul and a basket there, but was not meant to be as J.C. Lang checks back into the game for Peyton Bowes. Pretty good crowd in Jesup tonight on both sides of the court.
Yeah, you got senior night
well.
Coming up after this one, so we'll. I assume we'll. Anthony, we'll just stick around, or you want to start up a new event when we get to. You can sit on that. You don't have to answer it right now. I don't want to put any pressure on you, but
he did look. He looked instantly stressed.
Yeah, he did. He didn't. I thought he was almost ready to leave. But again, welcome aboard J-Hawks Sports Network. Feel like we were just here, which we were. After a game that I don't know about you, Luke, with come from behind win, it just kind of that took me out. It took a little bit out of me last night.
Yeah, I went right to bed. But great game for the Jayhawks, heading, inching closer to that postseason. To get a gut check game like that, really figure out who you are as a team and what sort of adversity you can persevere through. That was a timely win for the Jayhawks.
Yeah, a real Donnybrook.
A real Donnybrook. Absolutely.
I love that. Random text I get after 10 o'clock. Donnybrook. I love that word. Comes from Luke Baldwin.
Somebody else said that to me today. I don't even remember who I was talking to, but said, we're going to have another Donnybrook tonight?
God, I hope not. 2:42 to go. Jesup with a 10-7 lead and seemed to be a little more energized than they were last night. Wapsie Valley came ready to play, and Oelwein looks like they're right into two. Again, they come in tonight with a record of 2-14 overall, yet to win here in conference play in the nickel.
Amanda Treptow, three, no good. The Jayhawks, similar to last night, starting a little. They do have 10 points on the board, so they're not starting as slow as last night, but we are seeing a little bit of sloppiness that I'm certain Coach Conrad would like to see eliminated, especially at this point in the season. Ball goes inside for Lainey Pilcher. It's intercepted at the same moment she did by Milena Keel, so that's going to be jump ball, but it will stick with the Jayhawks. And they quickly turn it over on the inbound, so that's about three passes we've seen now that were well over the intended target's head.
Did we go starting five, or did they get credit Bowes with a start tonight? Other than I don't know if there's any change in the lineup with Bolden and anybody else.
The same starting five as we've seen the past 2-3 games here. I wondered that too, if she might make her way in.
Get a little reward there for what she had 18 last night. Free throw up, no good. Pull that down with Pilcher. And Larson. Overhead. Girls get a break come Tuesday. Home game with Union. Pilcher in on that paint. Take it back up top with Lang. Just dish that ball around. Whistle blown. And foul is called, an offensive foul against J.C. Lang, I believe.
Yep, going to be a charge. Yeah, and Adriana Bolden, she's worked hard for that starting spot, and I like keeping her there. She's done nothing to lose that at this point. And Peyton bringing a freshman off the bench, six girl in, that's an honor in itself. So unless something dramatically changes. That'll probably stick right where it's at. Treptow, that was Bolden with the 3 attempt, no good. We're gonna have a foul against Alexis Larson. Her first of the evening, Jesup's third. Alexa Berryman set to inbound for the Huskies and will.
Take that left side with Keel, and Treptow's going to stay right with her. Nice to get some coverage in the Waterloo Courier today, as they were watching that game last night against Wapsie Valley.
Really? Well, you know me, I don't read. As we see Rachel Rulapal. I'm certain I murdered that name. Oh.
She hits that
Amanda
three-pointer.
Treptow, you got to have that. Yeah, you know me. I don't read. So what did they say about us?
They pat you on your head and move you along.
All good things, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right?
About a minute to play, first quarter. No, they don't say anything to you. They just talk about you.
Right.
Ball gets loose. Paul sliding in. We're going to see Bolden try and get it. But Oelwein will recover. These black unis throwing me a little bit from Oelwein. I want to say Wapsie Valley.
Yeah, well, especially coming off that game. It's like we're watching the same game.
Baseline shot, side of the board from Keel. 30 seconds. Jesup just a 2-point advantage right now. Boys will follow this one, and they've got a matinee with Don Bosco tomorrow as Larson misses that three-pointer.
Boy, that
rebound.
looked good.
And then a double dribble.
Yeah, double dribble by the Huskies. Going to turn it back to Jesup. That was a nice-looking shot by Larson. Just a hair short. Bowes back into the game. She's going to replace Adriana Bolden.
Larson looking at that inbound. 20 seconds. Lang comes in the plate or in the lane on her own. She can't make the shot roll. And now Oelwein with 10 seconds to increase their lead. Try for a three. No good. Now last attempt. Pull that down as Keel misses the shot. Laney Pilcher half court in front of the rim.
Very close. So first quarter in the book. That was a quick first period of basketball here. Even with there were 7 fouls total, but moved right through things. I wouldn't say it was the prettiest quarter of basketball we've ever seen, but I anticipate it will get better.
Well, you don't have to say it if you don't want to.
I don't. I should not say it, right?
Anyway, coming tonight, Melena Keel averaging 14.8 points for Oelwein, 38% shooter. Natalie Crandall averaging 4. Berryman almost at 4 rebounds. Keel's right in there with 8. But Treptow again is the top scorer for Jesup, 17 points per game. She had, 28 last night.
Something along those lines.
41% shooter, but this team continues. And the boys' team is the same, really. When you're looking at, they're right in that 60-70% free throw shooting. That's really kept them in some games.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of good free throw shooting teams, and not only has it kept them in some games, it's won them some games. I mean, those are the things that absolutely will win you those close games. So Keel set to inbounds on the far side in front of the J-Hawk student section. I was trying to figure out if there was any theme for tonight, but I don't believe, or is there?
I don't know. Maybe it's I just don't care night, what you're wearing. I don't know.
That seems appropriate.
Or holy jeans, or I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if there's a consistent theme over there. You figure it out, you let me know.
I try not to spend too much trying to figure out teenagers.
Well, it's really not in your best interest.
No, Bolden, drive, score. Nice
Count
little
that in for
floater
her.
in the lane. I have a hard enough time figuring myself out, Nate.
Well, I think I kind of have you figured out a little bit. You just gotta. It takes a few years to figure that out because that's about the rotation that you have.
I like to change things up.
You
every
do.
now and then,
You
don't
do.
I?
Yeah,
Laney Pilcher on the move over to Treptow, cuts back in,
and
gets the roll. There we go.
A lot of those basketballs thinking about what they're doing tonight.
Yeah.
16-10.
First several of those drives were too hard off the glass, and these were just barely hard enough, but they went in.
5 players have scored, it appears, for Jesup so far. Bolden leading scorer with 4. Jesup on defense. Right side with Keel. And you hear Conrad out there just trying to coach his team along where they need to be. I'm sure we've got some tired legs after last night's game.
There you
but
go.
Bolden is wide open, layup right side.
Great heads-up play first by Laney Pilcher to get it up to J.C. Lang, and then J.C. Lang without any hesitation up to Adriana Bolden for the easy deuce. Keel back the other way. You can see why Keel is their leading scorer. She spends a lot of time with that basketball.
6-minute mark. Larson from one end to the other.
Oh boy, she had it. She was there.
Handle. Loses that handle out of bounds. Oelwein will have it. And will bring Nesbitt in.
Olivia Nesbitt, the freshman forward for the Jayhawks. She's going to come in and replace Adriana Bolden. Jesup will rotate in a couple of freshmen. Of course, we've already seen Peyton Bowes, who plays guard, little point, little off guard. Nesbitt, who's forward. J.C. Lang, three-pointer, no good. And then, depending on how the game goes, we may see some additional freshmen. You know, that seems to be the name of the game, though, anymore. Even the teams we play, it's not uncommon at all to see, you know, 1, 2, or more freshmen on the court. Sophomores are basically juniors and seniors these days.
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, it's a lot of times it seems it's that way because there's a lot of teams with not a lot of seniors or upperclassmen that stick through the entire high school campaign, and they get that opportunity to get some floor time and improvement.
Well, and it's an interesting dynamic. You get, we've seen so much of that it almost builds this expectation that when you come out of middle school, if you don't go right to varsity, then you must not be any good. You know, that's what players think, and there's even some parents that think that, and it's just not realistic. I mean, most kids, they require that freshman year, sophomore year to get prepared for varsity level competition, whatever the sport might be. When I went to school, when you went to school, for a freshman, even a sophomore to play on the varsity, it wasn't a common thing. You usually had a roster full of juniors and seniors that were playing varsity, and then you had those really exceptional players that were playing at the earlier grades. But now it's pretty much you get to high school, and whoever gets the job done is going to be on the court.
That's right. Yeah, it's some of that seniority stuff doesn't fall right in there, but you know, I think that mentality has changed too, where there have been some upperclassmen that they've accepted those underclassmen coming up to play that role.
Absolutely.
And it's not just freshmen belong where freshmen belong.
Well, you've got two options, right? You either accept it or you leave.
Yeah.
And that happens sometimes too, which I don't want to ever see. I want all kids to stay out, and every kid, no matter how much playing time they get, has an important role on the team.
Bose, Pilcher, Larson, Treptow, Nesbitt all on the floor for Jesup coming out of that timeout. Jayhawks up by 8. Free throw. We'll see some attempts for Pilcher here.
Rachel Rudapal into the game after the first free throw here. And to our Oelwein fans, I know I'm not pronouncing that right. If you are interested and willing, feel free to check in with us on Facebook and give us a pronunciation key. This is
I had some Wapsie people correct me from last night.
I had my buddy text me. He's like, man, you guys are killing those names.
The center down low, and I can't think of her name off the top of my head, but we were close. 5-minute mark.
Okay, so Nate, we've got some inside info here that apparently it is comfy night is the theme for the student section, which makes sense. I see some PJs and some sweatshirts, and we do have a gal over in the band wearing one of those.
A slanket?
Yeah, one of the. She's all cuddled up in her blanket, and but I saw another one. What are those snuggles or snuggies? Snuggies, is that right? Snuggies were a whole different thing when we were younger.
Yeah, the atomic ones were the worst.
Yeah.
Well, you got a girl laying down in a blanket over there too. I guess if she's comfortable.
Yep.
Laying on bleachers.
I believe it was her mother that gave us the inside scoop. I won't name her name because not everybody likes to be called out. But.
Eric, if you feel like zooming in on her with the camera, go right ahead. But the holey jeans, I'm not sure that's comfortable. Maybe it is. I don't know.
I don't know. Treptow bringing the ball across half court over to Pilcher.
A dish to Treptow, and Bolden will find Bose, and now 6'5", or she's not 6'5", 6'3", Nesbitt loses that ball.
Yeah, Keel snuck in front of her and took that right away.
A little force up from Oelwein, doesn't fall.
Nice ball movement by Oelwein, just couldn't get the basket.
Out of bounds.
Ooh, Olivia, take that shot. There you go, girl.
And she has it.
Nice step in, 2 for Olivia. And she'll knock the 3 down all day, too. Olivia Nesbitt, she's a kid that she gets a little more confident every game she's out here. And if that continues to build, she's going to be a real threat for the Jayhawks.
A little push in from Pilcher, 6 feet out, no good. Rebound defensively for Oelwein. And 30-second timeout is being taken by head coach of the Oelwein Huskies, Jason Jesup.
Coaching staff as a whole for the Huskies, of course, head coach Jason Jesup, assisted by Elizabeth Esser and Cole Thomas. And then your Jesup J-Hawks, of course, coached by Jordan Conrad, assisted by Jason Pilcher, Taylor Sickles, Bruce Wall, and Roger Oberhauser. And we should give a shout out to Kayla Wymore. Kayla Wymore has been the Jayhawks manager the entire season. Kayla, an athlete in her own right. You probably know her from the volleyball court, for one, and the softball field, but she wanted to be a part of the sport and be around the girls even if she wasn't playing the sport, so she decided to manage this year, which is great. I know she's done a great job of it. Peyton Bowes, 3 no good. That's going to go out of bounds.
Oelwein's Berryman had a 3-pointer before that.
J.C. Lang, Sailor Youngblood in for the Jayhawks. They're going to replace Olivia Nesbitt and Peyton Bowes.
There's Berryman, covered by Larson here. 3 minutes till halftime.
Out of bounds, nice stop by Treptow. It does go out of bounds off her fingertips, so it's going to stay with the Huskies. But Jesup definitely dialing up the pressure a bit on the Huskies, making it a little more difficult for them to get the ball across that half-court line.
Out of bounds.
That is out of bounds to the Jayhawks.
See if they can take advantage.
.250 to go in this second quarter. This is the second night of basketball for most of us here. We had, as we mentioned previously, the girls against Wapsi's JV varsity girls games last night. Sailor Youngblood, no good on the 3. Here we are tonight with the girls-boys game against Oelwein, and then tomorrow we will have a JV varsity boys against Don Bosco, again here in the comfy confines of Jesup Community School.
Did you have that all prepared?
No, but that really rolled out. That rolled off well, didn't it?
Wow, I was impressed. I'd like you've been through it 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
In front of the mirror or on the way to work?
I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah,
mate.
I was like, maybe I'll just go home. My young Padawan.
Maybe doing the January or the dry January has been good for my brain cells.
Maybe it has. They're regenerating. Crandall has the ball.
They always told me those wouldn't grow back, but I
proved that wrong.
I'm proving them wrong.
They're finding ways to connect hands. They're working together. Pilcher off the board before the shot is where the foul is.
Here's the thing, Nate, and you remember because it was just last night. That would have been called as a charge last night. There was at least 2 charges against Pilcher last night that, in my opinion, were not charges.
Well, when she had 3 of her 4 fouls were charges.
Yeah.
And it's hard to see that even in one game getting 1.
It's not uncommon for Lainey Pilcher to get a charging foul. She's one of the most aggressive kids on any court you're ever on. But to get 3 in a game is
it's just if somebody wants to stand in front of her, she's coming at it.
Yeah.
There's Larson. She takes a wide open 3. Back of the rim, no good. Pull it down from Pilcher. And
that will be offensive. That was push in the back. Often called over the back.
Got to give her credit, though. You know, she doesn't play on the floor as much as she did her freshman and sophomore years.
No.
She's growing out of that.
She's a kid I would not want to play against. Treptow gets it on the move. Gets caught up by that invisible defender, the sideline, but keeps it, takes it to the rim. There's going to be a foul on the ground. We're going to shoot 1-1 as we are in the bonus. That foul against Alexa Berryman. We were waiting on the official call there.
Treptow again 1 week ago tonight hit the 1,000 club. Now she's well on her way to try and tie her sister at 1,100. She had 28 last night. I think she had 15 on Tuesday at East Marshall.
She's making some quick movement on that, isn't she?
A little slower tonight, so she's only sitting with 3. Nice free throw. Ball comes out, not even a whistle and a jump.
Yeah, Sailor Youngblood with the rebound, couldn't hang on to it. It's going to go back to the Huskies. But Sailor Youngblood's another kid who I think has had a really nice season for the Jayhawks.
Keel baseline.
She provides a nice presence down low, gets a lot of rebounds, plays a lot of nice defense. Some of that stuff goes unnoticed. You know, it's not always flashy work that she's doing, but it's critical work.
Working a little different offensive style here tonight as Lang will take that 3. No good. Pull down from Youngblood, in and out. Rebound to Oelwein and Keel. She'll take that left-handed dribble all the way up the floor. Kicking it back to Rhea.
It's going to be a travel on the Huskies. So the Jayhawks will get it just below our booth here. The upper patio, if you will.
Patio. We should decorate it like a patio. Is that my hair or Luke's hair, James?
I'm not sure. James Masteller says that's your hair, but I don't know what that's a reference to.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I missed it. We clearly said something, but
doesn't mean we always remember. That's where that
just gonna
dry January comes in.
Gonna have to remember to push James Masteller in the hole the next time I see him digging up a water main in town. Peyton Bowes, no good on the 3. Not having the same success so far tonight offensively as she did last night, but that's the thing about basketball. Treptow with that shot right before the buzzer to extend the Jayhawk lead to 26 compared to Oelwein's 15, but Yeah, Peyton, as I said, Peyton Bowe's a little cooler tonight offensively, but we got a whole another half of basketball that could change. But also, just because you do it one night doesn't mean it's going to happen 2 nights in a row.
No, completely different, completely different. Jesup outscores Oelwein that quarter 14-5. So really have cooled down the Huskies as we go into halftime. Again, 26-15. Jesup leading scorer actually off the bench. Actually, it'll be our sophomore star, Bolden, who's sitting with 6 points. We're going to step away here at halftime, looking around to see if there's any little kids basketball or anything like that. But the pep band's playing. We'll leave the microphone on. You can enjoy them, and appreciate you tuning in to the J-Hawks Sports Network, Marlin Technology. Welcome back to the second half of the girls' game here in Jesup tonight. 26-15 is our score as Oelwein Huskies in town tonight. Again, record for the Huskies 2-14 overall, 0-8 in conference play. The Jayhawks coming off a come-from-behind win last night against Wapsie Valley, 74-68, and have a record of 14-3, ranked 8th in the state. 5-0 in NICL East play.
And with that win last night, that does place them squarely in the driver's seat of the Northeast Iowa Cedar East League. Although we do play them again already next Friday, so they'll meet that challenge once again. Laney Pilcher with some aggressive defense against Alexa Berryman, almost turns it over. Can't do it, and then Amanda Treptow almost turns it over, but does go out of bounds. Sticks with Oelwein.
Jesup defending that south basket as Oelwein and the Huskies wearing the black jerseys tonight. Trying to build on only scoring 5 points in the second quarter. Move that ball around that outside arch. McShane, player in for Oelwein, and the shot comes up and no good for Kiel. Rebound from Bolden, and there's Pilcher with the ball, trying to bring it up the floor. Corner shot from Treptow, rim no good. Tries to chase that rebound. Pilcher unable to get there as Rail comes after it, but Pilcher gets her hands on it. Now Bolden will get flagged or tagged as she puts that shot up.
So, two new gals on the court for Oelwein as opposed to the starting lineup. Alexa Berryman, Maria Reel, Milena Kiel in as they were at the beginning of the game, but we also see Madeline McShane, as Nate pointed out, and Peyton Arndt on the court for the. Although I believe actually these are their 5 starters, Nate. I think we got a couple
of numbers wrong.
Yeah, we had some substitutions before we got them circled. So starters for Oelwein. Just forget everything that I just rambled on about.
I'm sure they've written it all down.
Yeah. So along with the 3 that I said are in, Rachel Rolopal and Natalie Crandall also in there. No, they're not in there. Jesus, I'm going to stop talking now.
It's best to move on.
Yes. Yeah. Brain cells are definitely not back.
We used all that energy in the first half. It's a good run. Pilcher up, gets that to fall.
The Jayhawks also with their 5 starters. Pilcher, Larson, Bolden.
And they full court press defensive wise, and they get that ball back and convert.
Treptow and Lang. So another steal. Up and no good. Oelwein trying to get to it. Larson in there is going to tie it up, and it's going to stay with the Jayhawks.
Yeah, had a couple Oelwein players fighting over it, looked like, and then Jesup came rolling in, and now a timeout, full timeout is taken with 6 minutes to go.
Real a little bit banged up in that minor Donnybrook on the far side there, but no worse for the wear now. Had to use it, Nate. That wasn't really a Donnybrook.
No, that was forced.
That was a mild scuffle.
It was more of a moment of confusion, I believe. Tomorrow, conference wrestling over at Sumner Fredericksburg. That gets going about 10 o'clock tomorrow. JV varsity boys basketball matinee tomorrow. 3 o'clock start for the JV. Probably before 4:10, somewhere in there, before varsity will take to the floor. And then on Monday, middle school boys basketball going to be hosting Wapsie Valley. And then high school girl boy doubleheader here at home against Union. And that would be our last home game.
Really?
Last
time we're up here?
Regular season-wise.
Yeah.
So we'll have to make the most of it. Maybe we can do like a potluck or something like that. Covered dish.
We're going to need to get some.
Clark, bring a dessert, would you? Isn't that what people do?
Yeah. We're going to need to get some extension cords for the
We've blown breakers left
for
and
the
right.
crock pots.
Yeah.
That's a 5-second call against the Huskies. So the Jayhawks will take over underneath their own hoop with Alexis Larson passing the ball in.
Under 6 minutes. Now Larson. Lang up top, wide open. She'll go that far corner. Pilcher looking to dish it off. Finds Bose. Set up. Rocks it in.
That's a good shot for Bo. She was wide open, had time to square herself up and knocked it down.
She had a few of those last night. One key one that put the Jayhawks ahead in that fourth period. Down the floor with McShane. Ball on the floor. Bose was going after it. Now Pilcher finds that as it was loose. Across the timeline. Treptow comes baseline. Bouncing from the hip off the box. No good. Rebound to Oelwein.
Treptow just uses her entire body every time she goes in there. Just throws herself at the rim, and I don't know how she doesn't break anything. She's got to be, I don't know, half rubber or something. She just kind of bounces around out there. And there she will get the steal.
Off that box, no good on the rebound, and there's Keel.
Just cannot get those to fall.
Keel does chase those rebounds well. Oelwein has yet to score in this second half. Meanwhile, Jesup scored 9.
You know, it's funny, last night, Treptow couldn't miss a layup. She was making everything. And tonight, she's just not getting those to roll.
Missed shot again from Oelwein. Pilcher dushed down to the senior. Treptow forces in, and a block. And I think Rulepal was hoping for an offensive charge, but she moved on that.
Yeah, didn't get set up. Treptow will shoot a pair here. 3 fouls for the visiting Huskies so far to Jesup 0. Jesup definitely is in the commanding position so far in the second half. As you said, Oelwein yet to score their first point here.
Two wins on the season for Oelwein. Treptow hits that second free throw. Hudson got a 46-44 win over Hudson here recently. And first game of the year beats Starmont 32-26.
We did have Bolden come back into the game for the Jayhawks and Libby Gerhardt for the Huskies. Libby Gerhardt, I believe, is the granddaughter of one of my high school teachers, Jeff Gerhardt. He was a teacher at Jesup for years.
Push in, Crandall gets the foul. Got to be the first team foul against Jesup here in the second half. And the 2 points for Crandall will give them the first basket of the second half. Free throw up, back of the rim, no good. Pilcher right in there, pull that, and there's Treptow. Forces it down floor. They aren't taking their time getting that ball to the offensive court. Bose sets a 3.
Got it. She found a rhythm there. They're getting her in space, so she's got time to really focus on that shot, take care of business.
30-second timeout, wanted by head coach Jordan Conrad, assisted by Jason Pilcher. Robert Ohrhauser substitute or helping out as well. And then give credit also in that coaching staff to Bruce Wall, Taylor Sickles, who help out on the middle school end of things.
So what started out as a fairly tight game through one period is kind of blown open here with Jesup taking the 40-17 advantage.
And that's really been something we've seen throughout the year, a slow start in that first period.
Yeah, we have. For a couple of years now, it seems like. And I don't know why that is. I suppose just getting your feet under you, but you don't like to see too much of that because you come up against a really good team and you run the risk of burying yourself in a pretty big hole early on.
Well, that's what happened last night.
Yeah, exactly. Fortunately, we were good enough to dig ourselves out of it over the course of the game.
A takeaway by Treptow goes to go out of bounds. A lot of people in hand tonight.
Anthony Baugh just commented that Treptow just works. She is a hard-working ball player for sure. Hard-working kid, period.
Let's get that from her mom, I'm sure.
Yes. Four-sport athlete, excels at everything she plays, and I believe also excels in the classroom, which is certainly more important than the court or the track or the field, wherever she's playing.
Yeah, I think what I understand, she's narrowed her choice of where she's going next year down to 2 schools, and not going to quite let that out of the bag just yet, sounds like. But I don't know if it's going to be basketball or track that she looks at, cross country. Or, because I know she was weighing her options between, athletic offers and schools with engineering. So that sometimes can be a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah. Well, and she, she hadn't played softball, I don't believe, for a few years, and went out this past season and was a phenomenal softball player even after taking a number of years off.
.3:11 to go, third period. Oelwein in the paint, no good. Keel gets her own rebound, board no good. There's Bolden.
Really nice move by Keel. I wish that would have dropped for her. She's working very hard in there, just can't get the shots to drop. Peyton Bowes with the shooter's touch gets it to bounce in and through.
Bowes set up at 11 points right now. 3 3-pointers.
2:40 to go. Bowes with the near steal. 2:40 to go in the third period. The Oelwein Huskies still, I believe, trying to get those first points of the second half. And the Jayhawks just making it really hard on them.
Larson, 3-pointer.
Got it. And the Jayhawks having no problem finding points of their own.
Finding a groove.
The ball is shot by Ullapal and will go out of bounds off of her as well. Just they're trying to get some offense any which way.
Jesup's been averaging 58 points on the season. Oelwein has only been averaging about 28, 29 points.
Bolden with the 3, got it. So a team that, we've talked about this earlier. I wouldn't really call them a team full of 3-point specialists, but certainly the last few games, they've had a lot of success from behind that perimeter.
Deep shot right side. Rudapal, no good. And a whistle blown underneath. Will be against Oelwein.
Rudapal clearly frustrated, understandably so.
Second personal against Keel.
I would like to see the Huskies get some points on the board. That's not a fun place to be.
Treptow slows it down a little bit, coming down the floor. Pilcher, no good on that 3. Oelwein will have it, and Conrad's pulled them back a little bit on the pressure.
Keel takes it right through, Euro step, got it, there you go.
Take her to 9 points for Keel tonight. Does lead this Oelwein team. Pilcher, actually Bolden wide open, gets stepped on as Keel tried to box out on that shot.
Nothing you can't run off.
She's working that away. Back of the rim, no good. Oelwein tries to get the rebound. Larson, she's going to fight for it.
Jump ball, that's going to stick with the Jayhawks. With that, we're going to see Peyton Bowes check into the game for Bolden. And on the opposite side, we're going to have Jillian Prouty come into the game for Keel. So Prouty, 5'4" senior guard / forward for the Huskies.
Treptow, one step, right side. Lang ducks in, a little bit of coverage, whistle blown.
Yeah, little contact on the hand there. Send her to the charity stripe.
This is the J-Hawks Sports Network from Heartland Technology. I'm Nate Clayburgh. That's Luke Bold and Anthony Baugh run the operations tonight up here on the patio. Shooing the kids off the lawn. Eric Clark on camera.
Got a couple of, we've got a radio station up here with us tonight. I didn't see who that was. Someone out of Oelwein. And then we've got a high schooler up here doing some camera work for Coach Conrad and team.
Giving Eric some pointers, I think, down there too.
Probably. He needs all he can get.
17 seconds to go, third period.
Wouldn't it be funny if at the end of the season we told Clark that his microphone's been hot the entire year and he's just been taking our trash talk and not able to give anything back?
Or maybe he's just going to finally rant, just lose it.
Loses it, tosses us both over the railing.
Yeah. Well, the exit's on that side, so we're kind of caught. So 3 seconds, Bose tries to put one up.
She's going to go to the line. Peyton Bose with the, I believe, new kicks. Commented on those last night. Got a lot of paisley colors in them. It's almost like a baby's blanket covering her feet, isn't it?
I believe that's there's a name in that somewhere. The Nike baby blankets or something. Or
we have some net. Come on, one of the refs. I want to see you give it a shot.
Let's grab another ball. How about we do that? There's Jordan Conrad, or you get Coach Johnson finds a basketball. Bring it in.
There we go.
There's got to be a moment in that official's mind. He's going, don't miss it. You got to hit it. But it just doesn't quite work.
It used to be, there was a time where I could jump up and knock those loose. I won't even attempt it now. And I'm 6'3", and people look at me like, why don't you jump up and get it? And I look at them and say, why don't you shut up? I'm 46 years old with a bad back and a credit card leap.
And now you got a bad hip you're working on. All right, 53-19 is the way our score is. Following this girls contest, we will turn it to the floor as we will be honoring the seniors for basketball, for the girls and boys team, as well as for our cheer squad. They will be coming out on the floor here between the boys and girls game. But on this YouTube channel and this Facebook link, we will just keep this event going. Don't go anywhere. We'll have that for you again right here on the J-Hawks Sports Network. Jesup.
Then presumably, and maybe you said this, if you did, I apologize, we will start a new link for the boys game.
Yep, that'll come up after. Jesup dominating that third period, 27-4 was the gap there. As looking down to see, still have our starters that we're going to keep in between Treptow, Lang, Pilcher, Bolden, and Larson. We have seen Bose, Youngbloods, and Nesbitt on the floor tonight. So we'll see how things progress when it comes to substitutions.
Guessing we'll see some before too long. Coach Conrad does like to give his girls an opportunity to play, though.
Yeah, because I think Tuesday night it was a pretty big win over East Marshall, and I think the starters were on the bench after the third period and started with the fourth. Started the fourth with the reserves. Larson inbound for Jesup as that did sail out of bounds.
Way over there in the corner.
Larson will try a three. Lang right in there trying to take that away. They'll pull back on defense. Winning score on this Jesup team, 10 points. 9 points for Kiel on the other side. Got to give credit in that first quarter,
That's gonna
sticking
be
with
a
the
travel.
8th team in the state. Jesup getting that ball back.
Keel's a really nice player. She just needs a little more offensive production around her to draw some of that defensive pressure off of her.
Bolden, aggressive on defense. She's been diving for balls, ducking right in there, trying to take some.
Keel does have to be careful with that arm. That was about 5 push-offs on her way down the court there, never called.
Big shot for Oelwein. There's Larson on that missed basket, so Oelwein goes back the other way with it.
Got to take that up left-handed.
Baseline, little jumper, Crandall.
There you go. The Huskies having a little success on the offensive end of things here.
30-point margin. People continue to filing in the gym tonight. Boys game going to follow, but senior night happening between hands. Off of Larson, Oelwein will have it back. We said Union will be the opponent for the girls coming up on Tuesday, and then get to face Wapsie Valley next week on Friday up at their place in a doubleheader. After coming off that come from behind win last night here on this floor in a makeup game that was supposed to take place 2 weeks ago. Then it was snow, not this freezing cold stuff.
Well, this 9 degrees or whatever it is doesn't even feel cold to me after being negative 15 there.
Ball ricochets, lands in Larson's hands, come across midcourt. She'll lose the dribble. Is going to come off of White. Their little conversation to see who last touched it. Now Oelwein with Arndt will inbound that with 5:30 to go.
Jay in the house tonight. Strutting around. His head fell off a couple weeks ago. That was disturbing.
It was semi-traumatic for many.
A lot of screaming babies.
Yeah, there was some counseling available for people afterwards. 5-minute mark. Oelwein seen some pressure from this Jesup defense. Missed shot. Bolden down to Treptow.
I suppose you should clarify for those not familiar with Jay. Jay is our mascot.
He's not a real
not
person.
A person.
Yeah. Not a guy whose head completely came off.
That would be traumatic.
Yeah. I just think of that Naked Gun scene where they're watching the highlights and there's a ball that gets out to the outfield and the ball hits the guy's head and it comes clean off to the outfield.
Oh,
I don't know why that popped in my head.
Well, I think probably because we were talking about guys' head popping off.
That scene in particular stood out to me as heads getting knocked off. 4.5 minutes to go.
Larson, deep three, no good. Peyton Bowes with the rebound and will receive a quick, hard foul underneath that will send her to the free throw line. Jesup already in the bonus. 2 away from the double bonus as the Oelwein Huskies sit with 8 fouls to just 1 for the Jayhawks.
Bowes with a number of 3-pointers under her belt tonight. Tack on free throw.
Rolls that one in.
Take her to 12 points, I believe, tonight.
Sage Bain into the game for the Jayhawks. She replaces Alexis Larson. Sage, a freshman for the Jayhawks, and has really come on strong as the season's progressed here. Typically plays JV, has dressed varsity throughout the season, but does a really nice job.
Coming baseline. Oelwein. Bolden still a lot of pressure defensively. Air ball will sail out of bounds. And Jesup will have it back. Nesbitt, actually not Nesbitt, another Youngblood will hit the floor.
Yeah, Peyton Youngblood in for J.C. Lang. Peyton, another freshman for the Jayhawks. So 3 freshmen, a sophomore, and a junior on the court now. Pilcher working around the middle.
There's Youngblood.
Youngblood.
She hits a 3. Get her in the book.
Chalk it up. That was a good-looking shot. Stepped into it, knocked it down. That's a good confidence builder for a freshman. Oelwein is currently sending 5 girls to the scorer's table, and I will get those names to you as soon as I can see some numbers. I can tell you one of them is Abigail Patrick. It appears we have a Hannah Patrick. And we've got the ponytail thing coming into play here, Nate. Okay, we've got
Clark and Schutte coming in for Jesup.
13, Ella Shunk.
Now, Eric, just don't keep the camera on Katie the whole time.
Jillian Prouty. And we've got one more. I will get to her if you give me a chance here. Where is she? 21. Anna Bratton.
Sophomore in there, and now Prouty was looking to bring it back the other way and didn't see Jesup's defense behind her.
And we do have, and I think you mentioned it, Carly Schutte, Katie Clark, and Sienna Youngblood in for the Jayhawks.
There's Patrick, baseline ball.
The foul's
out
going
of
to go
bounds,
against
but no.
Sienna Youngblood.
Yep, so Sienna gets hit.
60-23 Jayhawks on top with 2 minutes to go in this game. We do have a running clock.
Oelwein with Brayton. Little lean in, going to get taken away or mixed up by Youngblood. Pressure from Bain and Youngblood, whistle blown.
Yeah, Youngblood's there. She's just got to step over and get straight and don't move. That was a charge waiting to happen. She left her feet a little bit, and that resulted in a foul. Boy, I almost forgot.
You had a shout out you're supposed to do.
I want to give a shout out to Marcy Okerman, who is Sailor and Sienna's grandma out in San Diego, an avid Jayhawk watcher, if you will. She has watched every game, and or listened to every game this season.
So is she a Jayhawk fan or a Jayhawk Sports Network fan?
I think she's a Jayhawk fan. I think she could probably take or leave you and I. You or I should say. But she is a sweetheart of a woman. I know her, and we're happy that you are able to join us for these games. Marcy, hope you are a lot warmer there in beautiful San Diego than we are here in Jesup.
60-23, again, as Luke said, a running clock. As Oelwein has had possession of the ball a lot here since we've seen the deeper part of the bench come in as we hit the minute mark. Deep shot, no good, top of the key. Doesn't work for Patrick, ball out of bounds, and they'll race back on defense.
45 seconds to go until senior night festivities, which we will bring you again between the girls varsity and boys varsity games. Jayhawks work the ball around the perimeter, looking for a shot. Katie Clark, 3, no good. Does get her own rebound, pushed out of bounds. I think that is not going to stay with her, surprisingly, but
she stopped short of coming out of bounds, and referees made the call. 10 seconds to play. Push it left side. There's Prouty. Ball's loose. 2 seconds. And they're just going to let him play.
That'll be the game here in Jesup.
7-4 was the total in that fourth quarter. Again, the final score 60-23. Jesup will go to a record of 15-3 overall, 6-0 in conference play. Oelwein Huskies dropping to 0-9 in the NICL East, 2-15 overall in the 2020-21 campaign here in Jesup tonight. The boys' game will follow here very shortly as senior night festivities getting prepared. Jesup cheerleaders across the court getting some things organized with the flowers and the gifts, and I'm sure we'll get Dan Fox and the script all organized here down front so we can honor a number of seniors, especially on our boys team. Tremendous amount of seniors on our boys team, and only three seniors.
Four. I think we have four, don't we?
Yeah, three seniors now.
Oh,
on,
yes, you're right. I apologize.
On the girls' end of things.
Amanda Treptow, Alexis Larson, and J.C. Lang are three seniors for the girls.
And then you look on the boys' end of things, there's a whole slug of those guys. When you're looking at Parker McCone, Nolan Evans, Brady Reyes, Brody Clark-Hurlbert, Carter Even, Carson Lenow, Corbin Fueling, Cameron Troyer, Merrick Sly, Camden Oster. That's a ton of seniors. That's unusual.
That's got to be the most seniors we've had in quite some time.
And when you look at the playing time and our lineups, and there's time that gets shared between sophomores and freshmen and juniors. So we're going to turn the microphone over to Dan Fox for our senior night festivities.
First up is Grace Dykes, daughter of Rick and Christine. Grace has two brothers, Skylar and Dawson. She participates in cheer and track. After graduation, Grace plans to attend Hawkeye Community College for police science. Seniors, once you get to where you're going, please make a 360 so they can get you on TV. Thank you. Next up is J.C. Lang, daughter of Troy and Sarah. J.C. has one brother, Katie. She participates in volleyball, basketball, track, softball, speech, and student union. After graduation, J.C. plans to attend Mount Mercy University to major in nursing and play softball. Alexis Larson, daughter of Brian and Sarah. Alexa has one sister, Elena. She participates in cross-country, volleyball, basketball, track, and softball. After graduation, Alexa plans to attend college. Amanda Treptow, daughter of Darren and Angie. Amanda has one sister, Emily, and one brother, Ryan. She participates in cross-country, basketball, track, and softball. After graduation, Amanda plans to attend college and major in biomedical engineering. Brody Clark Hurlbert, son of Natasha and Brett Vogel, and Trevor and Jeannie Holberg. Brody has 5 siblings, Landon, Dylan, Landry, Trinity, and Kennedy. He participates in football, basketball, track, and baseball. After graduation, Brody plans to attend Ellsworth Community College, where he will also play football. Nolan Evans, son of Josh and Alicia. Nolan has 3 siblings, Natalie, Nash, and Mia. He participates in cross-country, basketball, track, and baseball. After graduation, Nolan plans to attend Upper Iowa University to major in graphic design and run track and cross-country. Carter Even, son of Scott and Jamie. Carter has one brother, Mason. He participates in football, cross-country, basketball, track, and baseball. After graduation, Carter plans to attend college where he will run track. Corbin Fueling, son of Rob and Tricia. Corbin has 2 brothers, Camden and Cooper. He participates in football, basketball, and golf. After graduation, Corbin plans to attend college. Carson Lenow, son of Deb and Jack. Carson has 4 siblings, Tyler, Danica, Trent, and Shane. He participates in football, basketball, track, and baseball. After graduation, Carson will attend UNI, where he will participate in track and field. Parker McComb, son of Paul and Stacy. Parker has 1 sister, Peyton, and 1 brother, Paxton. He participates in football, basketball, track, and baseball. After graduation, Parker plans to attend Kirkwood or Nyack. Camden Oshner, son of Ardell and Betsy. Camden has 1 brother, Brennan. He participates in football, basketball, track, and baseball manager. After graduation, Camden plans to attend UNI to study exercise science. Brady Reyes, son of Ron and Jackie Reyes, and Cheryl and Phil Fischel. Brady has 1 brother, Tristan, and 1 sister, Maya. He participates in football and basketball. After graduation, Brady plans to attend Hawkeye Community College. Merrick Sly, son of Michelle and Tony. Merrick has 1 brother, Matt, and 1 sister, Dorn. He participates in football, basketball, and track. After graduation, Merrick plans to attend Iowa State University and major in mechanical engineering. Camden Troyer, son of Kyle and Jamie. Camden has 2 sisters, Ava and Madeline. He participates in basketball, choir. After graduation, Cameron plans to attend Iowa State University and major in civil engineering. Please give these athletes and their parents a round of applause for their dedication to Jesup athletics. Speaking personally, I want to thank each and every one of you for all you've done for the sport. Here at Jesup, you've been great to watch.
All right, congratulations to these seniors. We will break away on the J-Hawks Sports Network from Heartland Technology. We'll be back with our boys contest happening very shortly from Jesup on the J-Hawks Sports Network.